RedRum! 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 Stop it! RedRum! RedRum!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RedRum Radio. I am your host, Cindy, and I am here with
Bryan.
And we have two special guests today. I have my bitch-ass sister. Stupid ass. We've been wanting to have her on for a while, but it just, I don't know, we just haven't gotten around to it. But my sister's here. Say hi. Hi. And that you hear is her friend, Audrey. We talked about having her on here for a while now. Say hi, Audrey.
Hi.
It was Audrey that always lagged, huh?
It is.
No, it was me.
I think
it was me.
The last time, but yeah.
Yeah, it was me.
You guys got sick and something
I know,
like
because I
that.
remember Audrey was like, I'm going to be on your sister's podcast. And this was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's me.
And like every
we're
2
busy,
months,
you know.
she's like,
Oh yeah, I'm
what
going.
should I talk about on the podcast?
Dude, I feel like everybody thinks that.
So
I've been talking about it on
mean.
Instagram.
You
And
need
I'm
to
like,
check
bro.
this bitch. She's so mean.
At least I do it to her face.
What?
I'm always mean to you.
Oh, who cares?
Same.
My sister, before you got here, she was like, weren't you in her wedding? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, because she was like saying stuff, and I'm like, aren't y'all friends?
Yes.
Because I started off telling her how in high school I used to run away from you.
Yeah.
Like, quite literally.
Till this day, she's like, "You're annoying." I was like, "Okay." Anyways, and then
Oh,
keep
okay.
going.
I'm like, that's what she was saying.
No, literally.
Anyways, yeah. So today we're here to talk about basically just your story.
A good divorce.
It wasn't, yeah, literally, because it was intriguing to me because I know that you've been married. You said 3 times.
Yeah.
And you, how old are you?
29.
Are you really?
Yes.
Such an
in
ugly number.
I know. I was crying. I turned 29. And that was the only cute thing about it. No.
I thought you were younger for some reason.
No, we're the same age.
You're only 2
First of
years
all, I'm
older.
28.
I'm 2 years older
Well,
than you.
you're barely going to
Take
be
a
like
step back.
29. You're, yeah, baby.
I don't know why I thought you were way younger than that.
No.
But
We were in the
I
same
mean,
grade.
huh?
We were in the same grade.
I don't know.
We graduated together.
I don't know. It's because, you know, when you think of your little sister, you're like, yeah, way smaller. But anyways.
You know how to call you my big sister?
Ew. Stop.
Exactly. Don't
look at me.
I would smack Kristen, my little
Emotional.
sister Kristen, if she called me her big sister.
Yeah.
No.
I just thought it was intriguing because, like I said, you were telling us that you've been married 3 times. You're 29. When was the first? How old were you when you first got married?
Like 10.
Yeah, 10. Honestly, when we were playing around. But no, it was right, I would say like a year and a half after high school, because I married like the dude that I was with for a while in high school, and we moved in together, and yeah, it was super quick because he wanted to go into the military, so we knew all of that had to come into play. But
To be able to be together, right? That's how
Well,
it works with the military?
no, just because
Red
initially
flag.
he wasn't from here, so he talked to like the recruiter or whatever to see like what are his options to get into the military, and that was probably the easiest. At the time, I don't remember, but yeah, we planned something like super small, super quick, and yeah,
So you were like, what, 19, 18?
I think I
You
just
graduated
turned.
at 18, right?
Yeah,
So like 19, 20.
I just turned 20, and then he was 19. Yeah, 19. So we were like babies.
Yeah, right out of high school, like, I wouldn't even be thinking about that, TBH.
Yeah.
But, I mean, okay, so now that you look back on it, were you like, obviously when you're that young, I feel like you're just like in love, you know, you're like, oh, let's stay together, whatever. Do you feel like you were, now that you look back on it, do you feel like it was like a good decision, or it was kind of like I was young and dumb?
No, till this day, I feel like it was the best decision.
At
I
the
ever-
time?
No, now, even
Oh,
till
really?
now. I don't regret literally any of them. I regret only, I think I only have some regrets in my second one, but my first one, and now obviously no, but.
Are you guys still on speaking terms?
Now we are. Now
Wait,
we are.
you guys had a baby, right? That's your...
No,
No.
the second one.
Oh, you're
You're
okay.
gonna have
so
to
let's,
keep up, girl.
I'm like, this is a lot.
There's like 10.
No,
Okay,
this
so
is
let's
like
talk about
chapter
your.
1.
Okay, let's talk about your second one. How old were you with him?
Brady.
Ugh. I don't know, because it was, I was like 21, 22. Yeah, no, like 21, and then I had a baby at 23. So we were together long, like time-wise, working things out, but we broke up like super quick, and yeah, I don't know.
After you guys were married?
Yeah.
You guys broke up fast?
The second one was like the shortest one of my entire life. So I only met him.
Entire life.
Yeah. I met him like shortly after me and the first one split up because
Wait. So to be clear to everybody, Rodrigo's number 1.
Yes, Rodrigo.
Brady's number 2.
Yes.
And in the
then
future,
Braden. Yeah.
Which I sometimes call Braden Brady.
It's okay. Dude, that's
Dude, they look
fucking-
exactly the same too. Not exactly, but like they're two blonde white boys with friggin'.
She wishes they looked the same. I would clock out. No.
I don't even. No, I don't wish anything.
No, I just
First
finished
of all, I don't like
the
white
name.
boys.
That's all I did was
Yeah,
finish the name
Not
from Brady
finish
to
the
Braden.
name.
No, whatever.
Anyways, go back to
So
No.
you had a baby with
Brady. Yeah,
Brady.
the middle one.
You had and when you were 23. So you guys were together for a little bit, then you had a baby.
Kind of, because I only met him like shortly after me and my ex split up, the one that my first one, and it was definitely like 100% rebound mode, and I did not want to have to move back in with my parents. I did for a little bit, but I met some military dude online.
Brady was
Yeah, I met some
he was a military
he was
too?
Yeah,
too.
so I met him online, like literally on, I think it was fucking OK Cupid or whatever app I was
Christian
using.
Mingle.
Christian Mingle, they'd kick me out with just like one post. Anyways, swear to God.
Poor.
Anyways, yeah, so I met him like shortly after me and my ex split up, and I didn't want to move back home because that's another story. And he was like, "Oh yeah, if we get together and we get married, like you can come out here and live here for free." And
Where does
X,
he
Y,
li-
and
where
Z."
did he live?
He was in North Carolina. He was at Fort Bragg.
Are you a hopeless romantic?
Not really. Not really.
I'm like, so how did how do you say it? Like
what drove me to go out there?
To get married
Because
so fast.
he literally said that was the only way.
Is it
that
just
we
like
could-
convenience?
I guess I just didn't want to live at my parents' house, so I just took the opportunity. Honestly, like this dude was already like, "Oh, I'll give you everything," and I should have saw that as a red flag, but I was like, "Fuck it!" Like I'm not gonna go home because living with my parents is way worse, and I'll kind of figure it out when I get there. But the timeline's funny because
That's
nobody
ballsy.
believes me. I met him in January, and then we got married. No, we got engaged in April, and then got married in August. This is all the same year, and then had Brooke in the following year in October. But in between, like, I would say less than a year and a half that all that happened, we split up, like, when I was 6 months pregnant. So I came back to California when I was 6 months pregnant, and I was like, that's fine by me, don't care, whatever. But then, like, my dad was making it, like, super, super hard for me to even want to come back. Because I came back pregnant. He's like, I don't care. You need to get a job. You need to work. All that stuff. And I started to get overwhelmed, and I was like, dude, how am I ever going to have, like, a life, ever? Paying rent and being stressed out at baby and then being a single mom. Like, I was fine with it, but it was literally, like, the hardest thing. So I was like, fuck it, I'll work it out with this dude and go back. Super selfish, but, I mean, I'm not lying. Like, that's really what my thought process was.
Yeah.
So I go back out there, and then I have the baby. We probably lived there for like 2 more months, because he was supposed to get out in February, the end of February, and I was already applying for like jobs and stuff like before he got out. And they had told me, like, hey, you have an interview for this, because I did property management. We have an interview for this property manager job, and it comes with the place, X, Y, and Z. So I was like, I'm going. Like, I'm going to go earlier than you. And obviously, it's going to be helpful for us and our kid. Like, I never called it a family, like, because I was just, ugh. And I took Brooke with me, and I just remember, like, I told myself for, like, some reason, take all the important shit, like birth certificates, social security, like everything important, because for whatever reason, just be careful. Like, it's in your possession. And sure enough, as soon as I landed in California, like, he told me that he didn't want to be with me, and I was like, that's fine by me. But the only thing that, like, hit home was like, fuck, now I have to share her, because he's obviously going to want to be involved.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be like a bitch, like, not, like, it's my fault. Like,
Be one of those baby moms.
Yeah.
That, like, you can't see her.
Exactly. Because, I mean, even though, like, it takes two to tango, I feel like I was a little bit more mature than to realize, okay, like I did all of this out of selfishness to not want to be at my parents' house. So this was kind of like my karma. Not that Brooke's a regret, but I kind of knew like, all right, that's what you get yourself into. So
yeah.
And that's
what I like about you that I've in this whole time that we've been this last 10 minutes that we've been talking is that
no
you
filter.
No, you own your shit.
Yeah.
Like you're straight. You've told me like when we talked before about what do you want to talk about, whatever. Because I was like asking our guest, like, what do you not want to talk about? You've just been open to saying anything, and I like that because you don't care. Like, yeah, I've been married to what?
Yeah. I'll get married like 1,000 times until I'm happy, literally.
Yeah.
And that's what gets me so like, I understand that more people that are conservative or more people that like have professional jobs, and I have a very professional job, and in the beginning I was like very hesitant on showing like how I act, the way I talk, like my background and stuff like that, but I always found myself at some point meeting somebody that I get close to, whether it's a relationship or a friend, and they start asking me about that stuff, and then I have to unpack it. So literally, it brings me back to every time, the day that I met Brayden. I was not even parked, literally not even parked. And I was like,
sorry, this is
my husband, my current husband. When I met Brayden.
Like the recent one?
No, but right? Husband number 3.
Okay, so this is how you met him.
No, just kind of on the tangent of you saying that I'm very open.
Okay,
and I feel like it's always helped out that I was this way because it just gives people no surprises. Like when I met Brayden, my husband, I wasn't even parked yet. Like we were going to meet at the Tyler Mall, and I wasn't even parked yet. And I was like, let me just call this dude really quick because I didn't even tell him that I have a kid and I have like 1,000 marriages. Like, let me just fucking get out of the way. So it was our first day, and I call him, and I was like, hey, I'm here already, but I forgot to tell you that I have a child, and I'm currently married, going through a divorce, and I have a wild fucking custody situation, so how about you let me know if I should park or not? And he was like, okay. I was like, all right, cool, found a spot, see you in a bit. Swear to God, that's how it went down. That's exactly how it went down.
So funny.
When you were on that dating website, were you looking for like a serious relationship again?
Which one?
With Brayden, like how you were like,
oh yeah, like
everything from the beginning.
Like
if it was like a fling, I would have like been like, why do you care if I've been married 20 times and have
that's
kids?
exactly what we were going for, because I made Bumble the literally same day that I met him. Like me and my friend, he had came visit me for lunch, and he was like, just download it. Manny.
So this is where you met
Brayden,
my
husband. Yeah.
Okay.
My best friend Manny was like encouraging me to like go out and just make friends, because obviously I told him like, dude, like I don't have time. I'm preparing for a custody battle. I'm still married, like whatever. And he's like, who cares? Like let's just meet somebody and be friends. And I was like, whatever. So we're in a Sonic drive-thru. I remember it distinctly, and he's just like swiping left and right on anybody. And then he goes, oh my God, look at this Brayden guy. And can you believe the name? And I wasn't even looking before if he was swiping yes or no. And then he turns the camera to me, and I was like, go tell him I said what's up, and if he wants to, I swear, just like that, I was like, tell him I said what's up, and if he wants to meet me today, and if he says no, then I'm not going to talk to him. And then that's exactly what he did. He put like, hey, you're cute, you want to hang out today? And he's like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, meet me at Yard House this time, bye. And then yeah, we're here.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Just because being straightforward, because like at that point, I've always been that way, but literally at that point, like I already told myself like I'm a mom. I've been married like 1 billion times. Like it's not going to be easier for the next person. So really be careful. Like who's your friend, who's going to be your next partner, who you trust, because that's going to be the rest of your life, literally. So
yeah, and I mean, like you said, a lot of men for whatever reason don't like that. I mean, I guess it's like a red flag, right? Like
yeah, no,
I'm
the red flag.
Yeah,
100%.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
oh, Audrey's the
I
red
guess
flag,
that's
yeah.
No,
Why are you
literally,
looking
I'm
at
like
me?
1,000 at that point.
What is it?
Why are you looking at me?
Because I'm trying to get you to talk. You're
What?
quiet.
Oh yeah, I'm listening to everything.
He's probably like, this girl, my
Yeah,
lord.
like, oh, God damn, I'm scared.
I warned them about you before you got here.
It reminded me of the Jack
That's okay.
episode where it was quiet the entire
Yes,
weekend.
yeah, he was so quiet. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. yeah, you almost have to almost be careful, or it could be scary telling a guy that, because you could be the red flag. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys don't like that. Like, they don't like that women have been married, that they have kids, whatever. They want to start fresh, new. Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
I told Brayden literally the day I met him.
I was gonna say, like, it's cool that you're straightforward, because then they know if they want to fuck with you, then they'll fuck with you, and if they don't, then it's like, all right, bye.
All right,
There's
cool.
no attachment, you know? Yeah, but like I was saying, I think it's awesome that you don't have. It seems like you don't have a care for what people think of you.
No. Well,
You know,
kind
it's
of.
like-
Secretly. I'll cry, like, secretly, but no. I'll never let that demeanor show that I'm weak. Ever. Ever, ever.
Yeah, I think you come off more as like you said, I'll get married a million times until I find the right person. Like, for me, when I think of situations like that, I've always been like, that's what makes marriages now so different than it was before. Because before, it's like, whether you're happy or not, even if you're miserable and fucking the most unhappiest person in the world, you have to stick through it. And that's like old tradition.
No, literally.
Yeah, and now it's so different, because I know people that get married so many times, you know, and it's like, it's just different from before.
Well, that's the only reason why I got married in the first place, too. Well, aside from him wanting to go into the military, like, we already had those plans of getting married, because my parents, they've been together. Well, they're getting a divorce now, but my parents were together since they were like 15 years old, literally, kid you not. They were like, they lived like a block away from each other that they can walk. And I always had that like expectation that whoever you're like serious with and whoever you're going to live with, like that's what my dad would always put in my head, is that you need to be married.
Like a traditional marriage.
Exactly. Like you're going to be seen as a whore to the whole family if you're not. So I already felt like all that pressure because, I only moved out because he made it like super impossible to be with anybody. Like I wasn't allowed.
Was he just strict or what?
Not just strict. He was just a horrible person. Like he had ridiculous rules. Like if I had fun today, I had fun tomorrow. I couldn't have fun tomorrow. And I know that's
Mexican.
Yeah, no, because at the end of the day, like it's natural for like friggin' teenagers to have like a boyfriend or talking to boys and all that stuff, but he would like legit break my phone if he saw me talking to a dude, or I had to sneak like having a boyfriend even at 18. Like the day of graduation is when he said, like we were about to get on the bus to fucking Six Flags, and he was like, now you can be with Rodrigo. And I was like, I've been with him for like 2 years, but whatever. But no, it was just very controlling. And then I had a really professional job doing the property management and stuff, and they had offered like you can get a discount living here, X, Y, and Z, and we just wanted to get things going because we both had like the anticipation of like doing things together. And
This was Rodrigo?
yeah,
Your
the first one.
marriage.
I honestly, and I tell Brayden this, so like I kind of want to throw it out there too. Like if you guys have any questions that you think might cause a problem between like Brayden and I when I get home or whatever, it's not, because like I said when I first met him,
knows all this.
he knows that
I'll call
there's
Brayden
a
and ask him
lot
directly.
to unpack.
You said what?
I'll call Brayden and ask him directly.
Dude, we can treat it like Ryan's Roses, like on the air.
Like testing.
I love orange roses.
Okay, so what? So I want to talk about kind of how things ended,
Which time?
which with the two first.
Okay.
So your first one, what
happened?
you guys? You divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you were married. So what happened with that? You guys had a divorce.
Well, I always even have said this in front of Brayden, that I honestly think him and I would have worked out, like, despite everything, minus the fact that we had way too much freedom, like, at such a young age. Like, our house became, like, not the party house, but we were the only ones, like, our age that had, a full-on apartment, and hookah was cool at the time, so we were all doing hookah and drinking and
Well, not
all
a lot
that
of
stuff.
not a lot of young adults.
Yeah,
Is that what you call
we
them?
were only
Right.
19 and 20, so
Yeah,
we're still
have
like
their own place.
No,
Like, you know what I mean? So it's
everybody
like-
was living at home
Yeah.
still, which was fine. Like even if you live at home now, like being our generation, that's fine. But no, so everybody was always over at our house, and we were. Like, I always felt like not had to be the mom, but I had to be the responsible one. So I would let him, like, do his thing. He would get, like, fucking blackout drunk. And then I got him a job before all of this at the hotel that I used to work at because my cousin got me a front desk job and then I got him a job doing maintenance. So because he was working at the hotel by himself and then me at my job, he met somebody like at the hotel or whatever, ended up cheating on me, X, Y, and Z. But he hid it for a long time. I didn't know how long he was with her, but things got crazy because he got into like drinking really heavy and I'm pretty sure drugs. Like he just flipped. Like I didn't even know him. I was just so worried about him. And I don't know, one time we got into an argument. We would always get into arguments. He'd break fucking holes in the door and fucking get all crazy because he did have a lot of like anger issues even when we were younger. But he fucked me up. Like he literally like beat the shit out of me like really, really bad. One argument and he like hurt my eye. Like I ended up getting like a black eye, like cut my face. Like I don't even know to the extent of what fully happened because I don't remember. I ended up fucking passing out.
Is that when your neighbors found you?
Yes, that time.
I remember, yeah.
Because he fucking fled the scene. Like I called the cops and he fucking
Like,
took
sir,
off.
we know who you are.
Wait,
Exactly.
This was at a hotel?
No, he
At her
worked at a
apartment.
hotel, at our apartment together. Yeah.
So he just was
dipped out as soon as he saw.
What?
I don't know. I really don't know.
And you guys were arguing.
We were
he just,
arguing
like,
because I had found out
let
that he was cheating on me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this was literally like grand finale done kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we were arguing, and I don't even know how it got to the way it was, but he ended up like hitting me and like throwing me to the floor, and picture frames broke, like just ridiculous. That I'm telling you, I can't even.
You don't remember?
I don't remember, and I just remember I saw my phone on the ground, and my natural instinct, without even giving him a warning, was 911, 100%. And I called 911, and then as soon as he saw that, like, it was calling, he fucking dipped. And I pass out, and then obviously our fucking door's open because he left, and like a jackass didn't close the door. And my neighbor was coming out, and she fucking came out, and thankfully the cops and, like, paramedics and stuff came, like, quick. But, yeah, it was wild. It was so wild. And I remember his mom coming, like, because I called her to let her know what her fucking stupid ass son did, and so she rolled up, and my mom called because she called my mom, and my parents and I were not on speaking terms because they didn't approve of us moving in, whatever. She rolls up, and the first thing she literally asks me was, "What did you say to him?" Swear to God. And I was like,
his mom?
Huh?
His mom?
Yeah. And I'm right there with the fucking black
God.
eye and ice on my face and talking to the cops, giving a report.
So she knew that was the way that he was.
He has a lot of traits like his dad, and that's like another story. But
That's fucking
yeah, she
crazy.
asked me, "What did you say to him?"
I
And she
wonder
came
if-
with his aunt too. So she was even telling me, she was like, "Mija, you need to, whenever your husband is getting very angry, like you just need to sit there and stay quiet and talk to him when he calms down. Maybe when you guys have dinner, or ask him, 'Can I talk to you?' But if he says no, just let him have his time." I was like, okay. So, and I was mad. Like, I didn't take their shit. Like, that's when I became like, no, fuck you guys. I told her, I was like, so you're telling me that after all that shit, like, I was supposed to just continue to take your stupid ass son hitting me and all that and not
was that
call
the first time
911?
that he had done that?
No. He would, like, push me around and stuff like that. But, I mean, I saw that in my growing up.
You had red flags.
Oh yeah, but I'm like a fucking dumbass. Like since I had no family.
I don't think it's fair to call yourself a dumbass. I think anybody that's been through a domestic violence situation like that has those warnings, but they never think. Yeah, they never think like this is. They never think it's gonna go further than that.
Yeah,
you know, they think like, oh, it's not that serious. Like he just pushed me. It's not a big deal. Whatever. And then when it gets to the point, like your situation did, it's like when you're just like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Well, I was used to it. Like I said, like I had a very abusive dad. Like, so I I don't know if naturally I was like, oh, okay, this isn't that bad. Like, he's pushing me around, or he's like getting in my face, or he's mad hitting the wall. At least it's not me. Like, stupid shit like that. Like, I was literally that young thinking that way. But until that happened, like, I was genuinely fucking scared. Like, that's why 911 was like, no hesitation. And they asked me, like, when the cops got there, like, do you want to press charges? And I was like, no, I'll be fine. I just want a restraining order. And the mom was like, well, just, like, give it some time. Like, you don't want to get him in trouble with, like, his temporary status and all that stuff. Like, you need to be mindful. And I was like, why wasn't your stupid-ass son mindful that he can't commit a crime while in that position?
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you questioning me? Like, at the end of the day, you should be angry that this is your son who has done that.
Yeah.
I was just so baffled. Like, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I ended up having to go to the hospital because, like, my eye was fucked up, and I, like, ended up, like, passing out or whatever the case may be. And I remember that, like, when I woke up, like, my dad hadn't talked to me for, like, months, but he was there, and he was like, you can go home to him and die, pretty much. Like, you probably won't make it out alive, or you can come home and we'll figure it out. Like, I honestly thought that was genuine of him. Like, it was tough love, but I took the offer, and it was just way worse. And that's exactly why I got into marriage number 2.
Yeah.
But even the process with Rodrigo, it was a nightmare, because since we had him do that, it happened twice, actually.
The process of getting divorced?
Well, he got arrested when he hit me and stuff, because the cop at first was like, we're not going to take him in X, Y, and Z. But as I started to get more into, like, the story of, like, what he actually did, like, they obviously changed their mind. Like, it's not up to me if I want him to be arrested. Like, he fucked me up.
Yeah.
So they went to go arrest him, and his mom ended up spending, like, thousands of dollars to bail him
took
out.
a bond, right, or something like that?
She, like, paid a lot of money to get him out because he was going to be in there for, like, a couple of days. So he gets out, and then I wanted him to get all his shit out and stuff like that. And that time that he went to get all of his stuff out, he brought his brother with him, and forgot what we were talking about. It honestly feels like so long ago, even though it wasn't. But it ended up getting physical again, and his younger brother was there, and I'm like, dude, call my mom, call my dad, whatever. And yeah, he ends up getting arrested again because...
Who did he get physical with, you?
Me, yeah, in front of his little brother.
Again?
Yeah, while he was picking up his fucking shit.
How old was the brother?
I think he was my little sister Kristen's age, so she just turned 25. Yeah, so he was, like, young, so he was still in high school. But you know what's funny is I know a lot of people are going to listen to this, like, little chismosos, which is fine. That's the point of doing this.
Yeah.
But I know people are going to obviously have a different version because of what he said, but that's what happened. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I mean, yeah, but, you know...
oh, and I don't care. They can have a whole different story, but, I mean, I'm the one that was there.
Right.
Yeah.
It all who was there, you know what I mean?
Like, no one's going to tell you what happened because you were there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I got the facts. I got
Right.
the restraining order. Like, they don't just give those shits out for fun. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, they're not going to lie and be like, no, she wasn't beat to the floor.
Right. So, whatever. Don't believe me.
So, you were friends with her, obviously, during that time, right?
Kind of.
So,
you don't remember that time? Like, we all went out, like, us cheerleaders, and then you guys all came back? Or did you not
I
come?
didn't go.
Well, that was,
Because
like...
you guys got in the hot tub,
Yes.
right? And something happened.
Yes.
And you guys fought.
Yes.
And then, like, I think it was, like, Jessica. Shout out Corn Dog.
What is
Jesus.
corn dog?
Inside joke.
Oh.
Inside joke. I think that's before you and I were friends.
Yeah, like, close like that. No, well, from that, everybody came over. Well, mostly everybody came over, and... he used to have, like, this fucking pull-up bar, I guess, on our bedroom door. And as it is, everybody saw the fucking big-ass hole that he put in the door. So that was the number one thing. Like, everybody, is Audrey okay? Like, everybody's talking about it, like, in front of me. And I forgot which one of them knocked it down for, like, closing the door too hard. And the pull-up bar fell to the ground. And, like, he immediately, like, ran to me and, like, got in my face and... like, forgot that we had company, and there was, like, 12 of us there, and then he stopped, and then everybody, as soon as we, like, went outside, was like, what is wrong? Like, is everything okay? Like, do we need to call your parents? Like, and I was like, no, I'm fine. And they're like, are you sure? But literally from that day, everybody that was like close with me was like, fuck him, because something's wrong. Something's 100% wrong.
Yeah. I mean, even you just telling this story gives off red flags.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
He was a wrestler in high school, but
Yeah. No, but it sucks because, like, I'm very thankful that we're okay now because he was very cooperative. That's something that I can never, like, speak bad of because he was very, very cooperative when it comes to us divorcing and getting the restraining order and all that stuff. Like, we would go to court and nothing. He would just completely take ownership for, like, okay, yes, I'm going to accept the restraining order. Yes, I'm going to leave her alone. Yes, I will sign whatever you need me to sign, like, whatever. Like, give her what she wants.
Have you forgiven him for what?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. We actually, it's fresh, very, very fresh, where him and I, he kept his promise. He was never going to see me again, and he was going to completely leave me alone. I barely saw him for the very first time. So over 10 years later,
like last year,
he bought something from Braden around 4th of July. So, yeah, can't say
Calling
what.
cops.
But, yeah, he bought some stuff that you use for 4th of July.
Yeah.
And he messaged me because he had remembered that I had, because him and I, it was weird. Like, he would go into phases of, like, adding me on Snapchat and then, like, unfollow me. And I'm like, whatever. Like, he's not messaging me. Like, whatever. Let's kind of see what he does with it. And I had offered him one of the times where we were following each other on Snapchat. And that was, like, the very first message that we exchanged, I think. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, my dude has,
My dude.
yeah.
Things
Well,
for
we
4th
were-
of July.
Yeah, stuff for 4th of July. And I was like, do you want any? And he was like, no, I'm good. Like, I'll probably hit you up next year. He did. He was just like, hey, like, does your man, like, still have this? What does he got? And then I, like, sent him pictures. And then he was like, do you mind if I stop by to get them? And it'll just be quick. Like, obviously, like, if he says no, that's fine. And I was like, I asked Braden, and he was like, yeah, that's fucking fine. I don't care. Like, he really doesn't care. Like, he has accepted my past. And he was like, I'm going to get there kind of late, though, like, if that's not, like, disrespectful. And I was like, no, that's fine. So he rolls up at, like, 10, and I was, like, super nervous because I was like, I haven't seen this dude in, like, years. And I wasn't, like, worried at all, like, oh, I'm going to catch feelings or I'm going to cry. No, none of that. I'm just like, let me look at this guy in the fucking face. Like, I was, like, ready.
Yeah, I'm like,
Let him try something.
Yeah, let him try something.
he's going to catch these hands.
I didn't
these
think...
fiery hands right now.
Exactly. Like, I wasn't worried at all. At the end of the day, I was like, let him see what I came up to. Like, you're rolling up to my house. Like, I was so pumped. So he got there, and, like, instantly he was just like, wow, like, you look good. Like, you have your own place. Like, he was so genuine. And, like, he bought this, he got the stuff, and then... he got the stuff. Like, it was super quick. Like, I gave him what he was getting,
purchased?
and then, yeah.
We're talking about charcoal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, because I already had it ready. Like, I wasn't anticipating for him to come in and take
You're like, you want to come in and
yeah,
see the rest of
it?
it?
Some tea.
you know what I mean? So I just opened
tour?
my garage, and I was like, here you go. And then he was just, I guess he was interested in looking at the other ones. So I was like, whatever. So he did, and he got some more, and he was about to head out, and he was just like, really quick, like, if you don't mind, like, I want to say something. And then, like, he just got into apologizing, but kind of giving him where he was at, like, his headspace and what happened.
I mean, it had been 10 years. I do believe
Yeah.
that people change, and
yes.
you're a different person than when you were 10 years ago, young and dumb.
It wasn't even like that, though. Like, because even till this day, he's kind of like me. Like, he just took ownership. I even till this day, like, getting to know him again, he's exactly the same as far as his personality. He was
I don't know if I could ever forgive anybody.
I didn't think so until, like...
You wouldn't, you said?
No.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
don't
think so
know.
either. Like, because I hated him. I was just like, oh my God, how dare you do that and put me, like, in a
Hold grudges, I
position.
can't.
Our family holds grudges like none other, so.
It's because
I don't hold grudges. I really don't hold grudges. I'm very forgiving, but when it comes to something like that, I don't know if I could.
Yeah, it's because I didn't know what happened, honestly. Like, it was too... I didn't, like... don't have a chance, like, at all to, like, process everything that happened because it was so quick. It was him, like, fucking me up to him coming back, getting his shit to fuck me up again, and then me moving back to my dad's, and then him going to jail, and then filing for restraining. It was just too fast. Like, I really couldn't ask him, like, what happened, like, what went wrong, other than me finding out that he was cheating on me. But like I said, he got into, like, really heavy drinking, drugs, so I don't know if that is the only thing that gave him, like, the slightest bit of my time, was just, like, taking that into consideration. But he was super genuine, and he just took responsibility. He
And
was
he
like,
apologized.
kind of. It was just more so like, hey, I know what you feel, and obviously I can't change it, so I just want you to know that I did think about it, because that's exactly how transparent it was. I did think about it. I do regret putting you through that, but at the end of the day, I was young. I didn't know anything. We had a lot of freedom, X, Y, and Z. And we just left it on such a good note, and we literally stayed up to like...
Oh, he stayed there.
He didn't sleep over.
No, but I mean, you guys
No,
were
yeah,
talking.
it was hours. Like, but Brayden didn't think anything of it. I think he stayed there
Brayden is
till
a
like
literal angel.
Dude, literally, because my man would never in my life, never.
Well, why
He would-
though? That's what it kind of.
I don't know. Go.
But that's what kind of like throws me off is that like why don't you think your man would let you or your husband or whatever?
Because there's just people that are not like that.
Well, maybe I hit the fucking jackpot or something.
I think
because
you did, though.
No, honestly, because he's
love Brayden.
been like MVP. No, he's an asshole sometimes. But no, honestly, he's
You're also
like
an asshole sometimes.
No, yeah. But honestly, he's like the major MVP when it comes to me having like exes and stuff.
I could never.
Well, he's never. My husband Brayden has never had like a long-term relationship or a serious relationship. Like it's usually like a couple months, so he doesn't get it. Like when there's history involved and X, Y, and Z. So he was there from like 10 to like 2 in the morning. Like, and I came back inside and Brayden was like getting ready for work because he leaves early, and he was like, "How did it go? Like, what happened? Like, how do you feel? Like, did you kick his ass? Like stuff like that." And I was just
That's
like,
crazy, dude.
It
That's crazy.
it wasn't
That's
even
awesome,
a problem.
Did you kick his ass?
Huh?
Did you kick his ass?
I wanted to, but then part of me, as soon as I heard how genuine he was, I don't know. I was like, there's no. Even before that, like I was like, why am I gonna like make my life a sad story? Like I get this happened to me, but it's not happening right now.
It sounds like it was kind of like a closure that you may or may have not needed.
Yeah, it was closure without having to talk about it, and then him taking the time to talk to me for all those hours was literally like having my cake and eat it too. Because I naturally got to like let him go. I naturally got to get out of the situation.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, "Hey, just so you know, like, I do get it." And I was just like, "Cool." Like
let's talk about Brayden now.
I feel like you're not much of an overthinker because I would be like, I don't know. He was
I
way
am
too
the
long.
biggest overthinker in the entire
I
planet.
don't think so.
I just am just so real
Yeah.
I was about
because
to say, there's me.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I just want to save the conversation of people like finding out, oh, she's crazy or oh, she's mean. Like, just know that I'm crazy and mean up front. You know what I mean? If that's your
Definitely.
opinion. You know what I mean?
You're
Like,
not mean though.
I feel like
You're just dumb.
I have. Yeah, I can be dumb,
one
but
to
I'm very smart, and I feel like
No, she
a
is.
lot of people see me as a bitch because like I'm very, very open to.
I don't think you're
what I
bitchy,
think.
but I also feel like people are very taboo to people being so honest,
Yes.
which I talk about a lot because it's like when, like even Cindy last year, she was like, "You're so mean," or even now, she'd be like, "When you say things, you're so mean," and I'm like, "It's because I don't filter it anymore."
Surround yourself with people that get it, honestly. Like, if you don't have to, like, warn them in advance that, like, oh, like, I have a fucking potty mouth, or, oh,
I feel like that's why
this.
you and I have been able to stay friends.
Yes.
And like we keep in touch. Like I keep in touch with you more than anybody else that I know from high school.
But you remind me of, like, literally the relationships I have with my sisters. Like, I don't have to talk to you every day to know that we're cool. And then when you do reach out, which it's kind of like my sisters, they usually
and it's
reach
so
out.
straightforward.
Yeah.
It's no like.
Hey, I need legal
filter.
advice. Hey, can you ask somebody X, Y, and Z? Like, oh, I'm gonna get a house, apartment. What do you
Yeah.
think? And that's fine. Like, I like that people know that I'm willing to. You can call me at any time, no matter how long it's been, and I'm like, what's up? And I'll give you.
But like what I'm
whatever's
saying
in
is
my brain.
like before my ex, I used to like sugarcoat things,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he got me used to not sugarcoating, and because I would care like, oh, I don't want to make them mad. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But now I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just gonna tell you what I think.
I feel like you kind of taught me that though. Like when I split up with Brady, sorry, because Carla and I actually lived together for a little bit when I
Before she kicked
when
me
I got
out?
that job that I left early. We lived together for a little bit, and she was kind of going through with it, like going through her relationship stuff with her ex, and it took like a big toll on her. And then me doing the custody thing, and then our schedules didn't work, so we didn't get to like.
We never hung out.
Yeah, we never got to hang out. We never got to vent, nothing. And that was like the purpose of us living together. And I remember when she moved out, like I was so sad because I was like, I know it's for the best and I have to kind of focus on me and she needs to focus on her. But yeah, I went through a lot of change in like a couple of years, honestly.
I think age does that to you too when you're just kind of, because I feel like I'm at an age now where I'm just like I'm over caring about what people think.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you don't like it, then you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be somebody that I'm not so you could like me. Like, I don't have time for that.
I was a big people pleaser.
I was too for a long time, but
But
it's
I
like,
think you and I, it's our family.
Yes.
yeah.
I still
I mean,
am.
all of us.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I think that comes with age too. You're just like, I ain't got time for that shit. Like, I got my own shit going. Like, I don't have time to be worrying about, you know, and if you're going to get butthurt because I don't talk to you or I don't say hi to you every day or text you every day, like, I don't have time for that because we all have our lives. Like you said, like, I like to know that I can hit somebody up after a long time and it's going to be like,
It's cool.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I can still count on you even if we haven't talked in months.
I think it helps too because like I'm used to not hanging out with anybody. Like I didn't go to parties, literally not one. And even being a cheerleader, like if it wasn't during school hours, I was not there. Like literally. So I'm kind of used to that even as an adult, not really doing much outside of being at my house. It's always like, come over to my house, come over to my house. But Braden's like that too. Like we always say, our friends have friends or our best friends have their own best friends. And it's always like that. Like if we're room fillers, but we're kind of okay with it. Because at the end of the day, like...
You can sneak off whenever you want.
Exactly. And we know we're a good time because people have told us that all the time. Like, you guys are so positive. Like, you don't need to be so clingy to a friend or make the room all about you. Like, we're both very funny people and outgoing and daredevils and stuff. But, like, we don't need friends to, like, feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's great that we have a lot of friends, but we are not dependable on
You're
them.
okay by yourself.
Mhm.
Too.
We're chilling.
That's cool. Well, your whole story is fucking crazy. I don't think I've known anybody that's gone through. Well, no, I do.
I'm trying to think of something random that we haven't talked about.
I want to write a book, but I'm too lazy, honestly.
No.
Honestly,
You
no.
probably could. 'Cause,
I honestly
mean,
can.
you're very young, and to have gone through domestic violence and
And
all
she was
that
a hoe in
stuff,
high
Yeah, I
school.
was. I loved it.
It'll start early.
I loved it. I actually wore an ugly
everybody
Christmas
has.
sweater.
Everybody has that.
Who cares? Like, why? Why?
I just
that's
think
such a bad thing?
honestly, I think it's not.
Because
It's
in your
really
20s,
not.
everybody's like, go get it, girl. Like,
Get
he
your
fucked
hoe
you over,
phase.
hoe phase. I had my hoe phase in, like, high school. Like,
Yeah, I don't think
haters.
I don't think there's nothing.
Fucking haters.
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you know, we do what we do. Guys do what they do.
Who
Whatever. Like,
cares?
who cares?
Oh, I
and I
have
think
one.
it's
Who
awesome.
cares?
I think it's so genuinely awesome that your husband is like.
I tell
lets
him.
you do what you do.
You
I
want
think that's
you know what I
cool.
ask him every single time I see him? I'm like, how have you not divorced this hoe yet?
But let him. go
Every
for it.
time.
No.
She's so over the top. And then
I'm
Brenda's
just
so
honest.
chill.
I'm so honest. Like, I'm telling you. I mean,
Like, you guys are opposites, but the same person.
I wore an ugly Christmas sweater this past Christmas that said Santa's favorite hoe, and he was just like, get it. Like,
That's awesome.
That's me till I
That's
die.
cool. Shout out to Brayden. We need more of them like that.
yeah, but not too much of a shout out because he has his ways.
They all do, you know, they all do. But I think it's, like I said, I think it's super cool that you have your story and it's
Yeah.
not something that's hidden. You could come on here and talk about it, you know, to spread awareness or give somebody something to listen to, or if they want to be chismosos, like you said, or whatever it is. But I think it's cool that he supports you, and yeah, I think that's awesome.
You know what the best thing about Brayden is? Is how people think that he's Brooke's dad. Like, birth father. He's been there since, like, 6 months, right?
No, she's like
Younger?
like 4 or 5 months. Yeah, she
And
was
dude, they
little.
look exactly alike.
So you guys have shared custody 50-50 her?
Yes, it was such a fucking nightmare.
Do
though.
that. Yeah, I was going to say that in itself is like a disgusting
I would
back
say
and forth.
total. Brooke is only 5 years old. Total that I've spent in attorney's fees out of pocket, literally, was like $30,000 because of the roller coaster of shit that I went through. I almost lost custody of her just because of him being a fucking asshole. I'm not even kidding you. I think out of anything that I have ever been through, it is the custody battle with Brooke. Like, fuck me having all that happened with Rodrigo. Fuck my childhood. Everything that I could have ever envisioned that was like a bad experience does not top that.
Oh my god.
Does not top it. Mm-mm.
That's
And I feel like if I write a book solely, it's going to be about that. Because, I don't know.
You can do a series.
It's wild. Because, like,
did she go through it too, or
she was little,
kinda like...
so she didn't understand, and that's what I'm super grateful for, because
Okay.
if
so
that,
she kind of didn't really go through it.
oh no, she
have to
doesn't
go through
remember.
it?
No,
Okay.
she was
She
too
like
little.
grew up thinking it was normal.
Yes.
Because she was so young.
Well, we split up. My ex and I split
That's
up
before she was born, right?
First, yeah, when I was 6 months pregnant, and then when I moved back to California, she was 2 months old.
Oh, that's
So
right.
we called it quits at 2 months, and I was like, fine by me. Like, I have my job, I have my house, like, I'm good.
You're like, I don't need you no more.
Yeah, I was just devastated that I had to really share her and come to terms with that, because I never pictured that. I don't have anybody in my family that has a kid or has been divorced. Like, well, my sister had a kid, but she's married, and I didn't have an example of how to go through it. I didn't have anybody to walk me through it. It was all super fresh, and my parents were just like, that's what you fucking get. Like, not supported at all. But I was fine with it. Like, I had my own house. I did my own thing, whatever. But it wasn't until he was the one that filed for divorce and custody arrangement. And I had less than 24 hours to find an attorney and for them to appear on my behalf and so forth. So I told my attorney, he was fucking late, number one, and we had like 5 minutes to talk before that hearing. And I told him, I was like, I'm not going to settle for anything less than me having her minimum of 4 to 5 days a week. Like, I'm going to be realistic. I'm going to be cooperative, but she's small right now. I am breastfeeding, and until I can prepare myself as far as like my milk supply and everything, I'll be open to more time. Like, I was never uncooperative as far as the custody arrangement. But this motherfucker, he has, like, the nerve to, like, get into it, a little bit of background about him. And he was like, oh, I was in the military, too, X, Y, and Z, whatever. And he goes, introduces himself to my ex before we go into the hearing. And I was like, this fucking idiot, whatever. We go to the hearing, and then the judge asks me first, what do I prefer? Like, what kind of schedule am I anticipating? And obviously, my attorney's going to answer on my behalf. And this motherfucker goes, 50-50, Your Honor. And then as soon as she says that, Brady's attorney, absolutely, 50-50, we'll take it. And that's it. They ruled 50-50, and they're like, it's going to be a 2-2-3 schedule, which would mean...
that was horrible.
At 2 months old. And I was like, oh my God. So that means, like, I have her for 2 days, and then she's gone for 2 days. Have her for 2 days,
But that's
gone
when you
for
were
2
in
days.
Fontana and he was like in Victorville, right?
Yes.
And then they had to meet halfway.
Yes.
And then he'd be like,
That's far.
oh, can you like come closer or whatever? And it was like, what, 2 hours?
Yes.
Like
It's
halfway,
horrible.
2 hours.
Because of traffic and going up the Cajon
The
Pass.
Cajon,
And
dude.
oh my God, it was a nightmare.
Oh, she was so tiny.
And every 2 days. I remember I was
What's
like,
halfway
every
between
2
Fontana and
days.
Victorville?
huh?
What's halfway between Fontana and
San
Victorville?
Bernardino, like
San
the
Bernardino.
northern San Bernardino.
Like where the
by
15
the college.
and the 215 meet.
By the college?
San Bernardino.
we would
by-
meet
where Jonathan's mom
by...
lives.
It was this Starbucks kind of by...
On Riverside?
Of university?
That one. It's by the Cal State San Bernardino.
Yeah, right in the
over
corner.
there. So we were like,
That's right, where
yeah,
it
that
joins.
one, that one. We would always meet at that, and it was so draining. Like every 2 days driving there, and having to like give up my baby at 2 months, and I remember like the
He was
argument
taking care of her by
with
his
his mom. He lived with his fucking mom,
He
but
didn't
that
do
was the
anything.
plan. He didn't do shit, and till this day,
He did it
didn't
out
do
of
shit.
spite.
Like
1,000%.
He's just being petty.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't even think that he was trying to ask for 50-50. His opportunity presented himself
And he
when
was like,
the attorney.
"Fuck, let me
But
take
going back to that, so this motherfucker says 50-50. So as soon as we get out of the courtroom, I'm like, they even said effective today. So you're dropping her off to dad
Oh
at
my
12 o'clock, and it was
God,
already 9. And we were up there in Victorville because that's where the hearing was. And I literally had to like prepare myself mentally that this was
Oh,
the schedule.
fuck,
I'm in the
no.
middle of breastfeeding, and this is gonna happen today. I was devastated. So we walk out, and I like going off on my fucking attorney. I was like, "You're fucking fired, you fucking piece of shit." Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, "And I'm gonna go talk to the partner tomorrow and get my fucking retainer back, X, Y, and Z." I let him have it, and that's exactly what I did. I went back to the firm, and I was like, "Listen, this motherfucker did this, and I told him this. Got him in trouble. He got so embarrassed and in front of his boss that he walked out, and I was like, "And where's my check?" And they gave me my check back. But because I had to go in pro per by myself and fucking fix all that shit. And till this day, we have 50-50, but it's not as extreme. But at some point because he had got a girlfriend and he's still with her, and they made it like, I don't want to say, she made it more difficult because he was living with his mom, and then he met her, I think, when Brooke was like a month after, like, when we first went to court, and he moves in with her. I was like, dude, like, what girl was like, let me just take in some dude and his 2-month-old baby, just roll in here? Like, I was like,
Not only that 2-month-old that they have shared custody with.
correct.
Yeah,
And we're still married, and she's just like, come on into my life and live with my mom and dad. And I'm like,
Have you guys had 50-50 since then?
yes, since she was 2 months old. But it was on a crazy schedule.
So what
The
is
two-
it now?
It is.
Is she there now?
She's not here now. She's always with me, like, for a fact, Sunday evenings and Mondays and Tuesdays. However, she's always with her dad Wednesdays and Thursdays. So it's always the Friday and Sunday, depending on what we do. It's literally, he's so fucking stupid. It's 50-50 down to literally the minute. So she goes back. She's in school now. She goes to school at 7 in the morning, which I drop her off. Her dad picks her up when she gets out of school, which is like 11. If it's my weekend, my long weekend, he'll bring her back to me on Friday at 7. But if it's his weekend, he'll bring her to me Sunday at 7. So tomorrow, she's coming at 7. So it's literally 50-50 down to like the second. It's stupid as shit.
That's so annoying.
And if I'm get there at like 7:05, he will, the next time he drops her off to me, will like round up those 5 minutes. Be like, I'm making up my time. Swear to God, me and Brayden laughed all the time. And we don't even text. We're on Talking Parents.
Yeah.
I was like, whenever I need something immediately, I just call his wife. Because I was like, dude, she hates me, but whatever. I get my answer right there.
Wait, do they have,
Huh?
they have twins or they're having twins?
They just had the twins over the weekend. Dude, I'm going to get canceled. We're talking about this, and he's going to, like, file for something stupid.
You can edit it out, so.
No, who cares? Actually, I'm going to play it in court. I'll be like, I said it.
Your Honor, I have a podcast.
Tell
Brian,
me.
send me the important.
Brian on the Mac? On the Mac.
His
Brian,
attorney's
my
name is Bryan. And I'm like, hey, Brian, take a listen to this. Yeah,
That's
no.
crazy.
Heck no, I was a little badass though in court though. Like, I did a lot of it by myself, and I'm over there like going off on his fucking attorney.
Y'all, if anybody needs an attorney.
Not
Yeah.
me.
So I was proud of myself.
How do you
but
think your daughter's handled all this?
She doesn't know because we just keep it separate.
She's just so used to it because it's
Yeah,
been happening since
she-
she was so little.
Yeah, and she's never gone to like any of the court hearings. Ultimately, like how I was kind of telling you, I want to start my own podcast just so I feel like there's been a lot of questions like
You have
over
a lot of
time.
experience.
I have a lot of experience, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but I kind of
It
now
could be helpful to
yeah,
somebody.
and I kind of now hope that people see me like a mirror in a sense, like, hey, like she
Right, see
went
your experience
Exactly.
and like try to like mirror their own life or try to say like direct themselves in that way to like try to get a better
Exactly. And I don't see myself as an example whatsoever. It's just, hey, there's another person out there that has went through this shit and you might be relatable, but the only example I want to be is that it's going to be okay. It doesn't matter how many people you, like, how many relationships you've been in or what kind of life experience that you have. Like, there's always going to be at least one person in your life that doesn't think anything like bad about you. And I used to have like a really, really, really close relationship with one of my exes, and he died. But yeah, I don't know. I think that was enough for me. It was just knowing that there was one person that couldn't pass any judgment. And now, thankfully, I have Braden, and he's like that. But yeah, I want to be relatable. I don't want anybody to think that it's not going to get better, because it will. Eventually.
Yeah, I mean, you've been literally beat to the floor and you gotten up and, came out a better person, and you didn't hold that grudge against your ex, and you forgave him. And
the easiest way to heal.
Yeah. Everybody always says that it's, you have to forgive to be able to move on and be happy. Because if you hold that, that's just going to affect you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, definitely it's, you're somebody to look up to.
Kind of, yeah. I guess be relatable too.
Yeah, for anybody that's going through any type of situation like that, to see, like you said, that there is something better on the other side for them. But
I started to learn too. Like, anytime something wild happened to me, and like I'm obviously gonna have to start from scratch. Like, I think because I've been through so much, I now tell myself like, well, at least this is the start of the new upgrade, I guess. Honestly.
Oh, you're like, I did it before.
I could do it again, but my life has always been better. Like, and that's like the only humbling thing and only like reassuring thing. Like, if I be real with myself, like, yeah, I've been through a lot of shit, but it got better every time.
Well, thank you so much, Aubrey, for being
Audrey.
Sorry.
Audrina.
The only question I have though is, how are you gonna like summarize everything I just said? Like, what is your perspective? Now, that's my question for you. Actually, for all of you guys, based off of everything that I've said. I do that a lot. I question everybody. But what do you guys think?
Pass.
No, you especially. You
especially.
Let's start with Carla.
Your opinion.
I've
Like
always
a
told you my
straight up opinion.
I told you from the beginning. I love that you don't have a filter, that you don't worry about people judging you, that you're not afraid for people to, if they are going to judge you, to judge you. I admire that a lot from you. I
think that's the biggest struggle, though, that I feel like girls have, is that they get vulnerable when it comes to men, and I just want to be that example that doesn't matter.
To me, you've been that example.
Huh?
To me, you've been that example.
I hope so, because I want every girl to know that, like, doesn't matter what the fuck they're doing, know how hot shit they think there are, like, go for it. Go for it. You act like us girls don't already know. We see it on TikTok. We talk all the time. Like, what to look out for.
Yeah.
Like, their ego is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, so they should be forced to, like, do things right. No offense, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I haven't said anything the entire time, because I feel like none of this is relatable to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to like think of like what happened with my mom and my dad between their divorce, and because he was like physically abusive to her and to us as the kids.
But I would love to hear a guy's perspective now, hearing all that, and what, like, walking red flag I am. Like, what would you think, like, hearing a girl that's just, like, so open about it? Like, what if
you're saying, like, if he was to
he didn't know me. Like, say he was just hearing me talk and the way that I act and the way that I am.
He doesn't know you. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh. Damn, this bitch crazy.
And no, not really, because like I like being open about myself too.
Good. You have the best outcomes that way.
Honestly, if I'm being 100% honest, I'd be like, why was she married so many times?
Yeah.
It is a red flag. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
it is.
1,000%.
Yeah, it is.
Put it
but
on my head, honestly.
To me, like I said before, it would be like, this girl either doesn't take marriage seriously or she's trying to find the one for her. and she's a hopeless romantic.
No,
and she's
don't call me
trying to
that. I
find,
don't like it.
Well, that's what it's either one or it's from to me. I'm just like you asked for my opinion, and that's it's either one or the other. To me, that's what how you come off. You know what I mean? It's either like I said, she's a hopeless romantic. She's trying to look for her person.
Yeah.
Or she's just getting married to get married for whatever.
I think a lot of people would say like, "What's wrong with her?"
Yeah, because I
like
feel
that would be
that's
it.
That's
Okay, so
why.
here's the
That's
thing for
what I
me.
don't want. Because I don't want people to think that I'm a hopeless romantic trying to be on fucking Flavor of Love, finding like my match. It's not that. It's literally whoever matches my energy can be a part of my life. And if it happens to be a significant other, dude, win. You know what I mean? But if not, whatever.
Because that's the whole. What the fuck was I gonna say? I don't know. I'm a little high. But for me, like hearing that somebody's been married like 3 times, for me, it's not really a red flag. There's a story behind that, and that's the whole thing that I'm interested in. It's just like when I talk about like movies on my podcast, I don't really believe in spoilers because if someone tells me like at the end of Star Wars, Darth Vader is Luke's father, fuck you.
Stupid.
How does it get to there? Like
You're like, how? What? Why?
Why?
Dude,
like,
that's my life story.
Like exactly. Like somebody like you've been married 3 times. Like what's the story? Like how did we get there?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm interested in. I really don't care. Really, I just want to know. Is it interesting? Like I want to hear about it.
It's always interesting. Even I feel like everybody's life is always interesting, even if you can't relate. Just because if you really sit down and ask yourself, like, dude, there's like a billion gajillion people in the world, and everybody has their own unique like person. So for you to just pick one person for the rest of your life at so young, like how our parents did, I'm like, you gotta be insane. Like I have like 1,000 different phases of my life, and
that's true.
I was like, why? Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, you have a point. Yeah, I agree.
But that's how a lot of people like cheat and stuff because they're like, oh no, I'm not into this. Like, I kind of want to see what kind of guy I want. Like, even when it comes to like sex and all that stuff, like, I don't know, like if he's whack, like you're gonna fucking stay there forever. No.
I'm not talking about.
I've honestly I've been with my dude for 10 years, and the reason that I didn't want to get married for a long time is because I was afraid of commitment.
Yeah,
and I don't think I would want to be divorced. So
it's not a bad thing though. Like I used to think it was the saddest thing.
I don't think it's the bad thing because if it doesn't work out, I'm not gonna stay in something I'm not happy when it doesn't work out. But it's like we've had our bad times, and there's been times that we should have left each other and we haven't. So I feel like if we were to get married, it's like it's harder. And they say like what do they say? It's
cheaper to keep her.
Yeah.
Ugh, my dad would say that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and I find some truth in that, but like I said, I don't know. Everybody sees marriage differently. You have your own opinions, but it's like you either have your opinion like Bryan.
Wedding, though. One. So
I
not
never
like I had the full shebang all 3 times.
Okay. Yeah.
No. I had,
you know
Braden.
what?
Yeah, it was Braden. I had everything. The venue, the bridesmaids. Oh my God, it was beautiful.
There's no alcohol
was a bigger
in the wedding.
Well, that wasn't
There
my
was
fault.
what?
It's because they didn't allow alcohol, and like the people there were being so racist.
All the groomsmen were high.
Yeah. I ended up getting money back because I like complained and stuff like that. I was like, hell
So
no.
if you need to get your money back, hit
Call
up
me.
Audrey.
Audrey, girl.
Audrey.
I said it
La
on
That
Audrey.
time you did it on purpose.
That's what your mom says.
Audrey.
But no, yeah, I just try to give everybody that, I don't know, advice is just, it's going to be fine. Like, don't worry about the word divorce. Don't worry about any word, honestly, like what people call you.
I think it's more acceptable than it was before. It's not, I don't think a lot of tradition.
Well, people are more open-minded.
Yeah.
now.
People reverted back to the Bible and stuff. That's why, because they say like, oh, you're supposed to be with your whoever for whatever, but
Through
no.
thick and thin.
No thanks.
Well, yeah, through thick and thin if they respect you, but if the minute you feel like you're not yourself, out.
Yeah, and then there's times that people get be and cheated on, and they're like, well, you have to stay. You're committed. You made.
That's what you get.
That's,
You
that's
know
what
who
they
you
told
married.
my mom at because you know how we were in the church and all that. That's what the elders told
Yeah,
her.
that's what I was talking about. Like, no matter what, you have to stay. You committed. You said your vows, whatever. Like, what? But anyways, let's not get into that because
Carla's over here going deuces.
Yeah, that shit. It's fucking crazy. But whatever. Don't stay with anybody.
It's not that. Just don't be in anybody's life if they're not going to respect you at your full potential.
Yeah.
Everybody that's my friend knows my story and they're cool with it. So that just opens doors for them to ask me if it's relatable.
Yeah. Sure. Well, thank you again for being here. If you guys have any questions or if you want to get your money back for anything, hit up Audrey. And we'll see you guys on...
Hey, wait a minute. Before we leave...
Don't fucking ask me
You
where
know
can
I'm
they
gonna
find
do
us
it.
or all that shit. I left that shit up to you. So if you want to say it, go ahead.
Okay, so you can find us on Instagram. We are red.rum radio. What's the TikTok again? Is it just RedRum?
Yeah,
yeah.
RedRum Radio, I think.
Okay, so the TikTok is RedRum Radio. I don't know if we had a Twitter or not.
No, we don't.
Okay, but we are on Apple Podcasts and
How often do
Spotify.
you guys record or post?
Cuando quieren.
We try to record every week, but we fall behind sometimes. We're busy.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. What else?
If you're gonna email us, it's redrumradiopodcast@gmail.com.
Anything that you guys want to talk about, if you guys want to come on here, let us know. Oh, wait. I have one question for you. One last question. The last one, and make it fast. This is a fucking podcast of ghosts and crime, and we have...
No, I saw Cheeseman in there too, so I guess
Okay,
it's
but
we've been
Cheeseman.
mostly doing
fast,
that.
okay?
Okay,
Fast
go,
question.
go.
Have you ever experienced anything crazy, paranormal, any demonic, duendes, gnomes, anything?
One time. Only
Okay,
one
go.
time. So
10 seconds.
I had just moved back from being pregnant. You know what I mean? I was 6 months pregnant when I moved back, and my parents let me stay in the little back house. Remember, you have a picture.
Where the eyeglasses are.
Yeah, and we turned it into like a bedroom with the crib and everything because I was supposed to live there, right? And one night that I was sleeping, like I had my phone plugged in and it was on top of like my little pregnant belly, and then out of fucking nowhere, and I know I'm not a liar. I was about to plug my fucking phone in, and my phone just like went across the room. I'm not even kidding you. And I ran inside, and I told my mom, and she like drowned me in holy water. Not even kidding you, because I was crying, and I never slept in that room again. I was like willing to sleep on the floor.
Do you guys have? Is there any history there?
No, it's a brand new house. We're the only people that have ever lived there,
shit.
ever.
Maybe it's you.
Yeah, what about
Maybe.
the land, though?
No, but my phone, like, it was on my belly, and all I did was like not even get up, and I
So break
reached
the
for
demonic child.
But I've never had anything else happen like that.
The omen.
Just
And
that
that's
one time.
You're like, that's all I needed.
Yes, like I tried to plug in my fucking phone and it just left. And I was like, hell no, I'm out of here.
That's crazy. Well, there you guys have it. That's your, that's
The
your-
only ghost story we've told in like months.
literally.
I hope
But I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time.
All right, bye.
Mom!